Federal government urged to settle pending MA63 matters. Malaysia clinched its 30th gold medal at the SEA Games and errors found during Turkish vote counting. Those are the headlines for tonight. Assalamualaikum. I'm Shura Abang Mansur and this is TVS Nightline. Amidst the counting of votes for Turkey's election, the European electoral observers today said they detected procedural errors but did not disclose what was observed. According to the special coordinator from the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, Michael George Link, in the wake of the devastating earthquakes, voters' participation was high, but between rivals and incumbents, there is an unjustified advantage, especially through biased media coverage. Even so, he said the election was managed efficiently, but had other concerns over transparency.
The election administration technically managed the elections efficiently, but there was a lack of transparency and communication, as well as concern over its independence. Measures designed to facilitate registration and voting for earthquake-affected citizens were limited, placing an additional burden on these voters to exercise their voting. Nonetheless, we found that the campaign itself was competitive and largely free for most contestants, but was characterized by intense polarization and marred by harsh rhetoric, instances of misuse of administrative resources, and the pressure and intimidation faced by especially one opposition party.
Current ruling President Tayyip Erdogan currently leads the first round of the presidential election comfortably, as reported on Sunday, May 14th. His rivals are facing an uphill struggle to prevent Erdogan's extension as president, who ruled the country for over 20 years.
With one more day remaining for the SEA Games, Malaysia clinched its 30th gold medal with a stunning performance by SYAFIQ in the taekwondo event. The taekwondo exponent successfully retained his men's 80-kilogram title by defeating Indonesia's Naufal Khairuddin Osanando.
SYAFIQ beat his opponent in a close match, where he stumbled in the first round by 7-10, but managed to rebound in round 2 by 10-1 and closed the tiebreaker round with 4-3. Being awarded with the gold medal was an exceptional moment for SYAFIQ, as his mother had asked him for a gold medal for Mother's Day. On retaining his title, SYAFIQ said he was entirely focused on giving his all, even when pressure is mounting up in his head. In terms of medal tally, it is very unlikely that Malaysia will be able to achieve their 40-gold target. Current medal standings show Malaysia will rank below Cambodia and Singapore and record lower gold medals than last year's SEA Games. In Hanoi's SEA Games, Malaysia received criticism from the public despite bagging 39 gold medals. The country's worst performance was in the 1995 Chiang Mai SEA Games, winning only 31 gold medals.
Now, for the latest SEA Games medal tally today, Vietnam remains in the lead at Phnom Penh with 122 gold, 100 silver and 95 bronze hauls so far. Thailand is in second with 94 gold, 76 silver, 93 bronze. Indonesia is third with 74 gold, 67 silver and 92 bronze, while hosts Cambodia with 71, 68 and 113 are fourth. Philippines with 51, 77, 103 and Singapore with 45, 38, 57 are fifth and sixth. Malaysia remains in seventh place, overall with 30 gold, 42 silver and 85 bronze. Myanmar, Laos, Brunei and East Timor make up the rare four. The state banquet held in conjunction with tomorrow's commencement of the second term of the 19th Sarawak State Legislative Assembly has just concluded at 10 p.m. tonight. The event was graced by esteemed guests, including the head of state, Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud, and his wife, Tuan Puan Datuk Patinggi Ragat Kurdi Taib, along with the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Jori Tun Openg, and his wife, Puan Sri Datuk Amar Jumaani Tun Tuanku Bujang. Our reporter, Lorenzo Isaac, joins us to share the highlights from the dinner. Over to you, Lorenzo.
Thank you, Shirabang Mansour. This is Lorenzo Isaac reporting live from Dun Complex Petrajaya, where the state banquet has just concluded, celebrating the commencement of the second term of the 19th Sarawak State Legislative Assembly, which is scheduled to begin tomorrow. The atmosphere here was filled with excitement, and as esteemed guests enjoyed this grand event. The banquet was graced by the presence of the distinguished head of state, Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud, and his wife, Tuan Puan Datuk Patinggi Hajah Kurdi Taib. Joining them was the Premier of Sarawak and his wife, Puan Sri Datuk Amar Jumaani Tun Tuanku Bujang. Their attendance added an air of importance and significance to this momentous occasion. In addition to these esteemed individuals, we had a host of honourable guests present tonight. The Deputy Premier of Sarawak, along with Sarawak's Cabinet Minister, lent their support and played vital roles in the smooth functioning of the state's governance. The event also saw the presence of various heads of department and government agencies who are instrumental in implementing policies, managing resources, and ensuring the efficient functioning of Sarawak's administrative machinery. Their expertise and dedication contribute to the overall progress and well-being of the state. Furthermore, representatives from various non-governmental organizations and NGOs joined the banquet, highlighting the collaboration between the government and civil society in addressing social issues and promoting community development. So far, that is all the updates that I have for tonight. I'm Lorenzo Isaac and videographer Awang Asmel, TVS Kuching.
Thank you, Lorenzo. Meanwhile, the Sarawak government's efforts in attracting foreign investors through new economy based on green technology was lauded by the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud. He pointed out that the initiatives under the vision of the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Jori Tun Openg, have successfully helped Sarawak's economy bounce back on its feet after the COVID-19 pandemic.
Banyak inisiatif pembangunan strategik seperti ekonomi digital telah melonjakkan ekonomi Sarawak. Saya gembira kerana kerajaan Sarawak meneroka ekonomi baru. Strategi ini mampu meningkatkan ekonomi dan hasil Sarawak.
He also welcomed the Sarawak government's efforts to increase research and development on Sarawak's natural resources, noting that the carbon business and research by the Sarawak Biodiversity Centre has produced new economic resources that will not only contribute to Sarawak's income, but also talent development of Sarawakians. Taib also acknowledged the state's government's program under the Bantuan Khas Sarawakku Sayang or BKSS assistance, which has greatly helped the people affected by the pandemic.
The Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Pehin Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud implored the federal government to promptly resolve matters pertaining to Sarawak's demands in accordance with the Malaysia Agreement 1963, the Intergovernmental Committee IGC report, the Sarawak Constitution and Federal Constitution. He said this when officiating the first meeting of the second term of the 19th State Legislative Assembly, which commenced today at the Dun Complex in Petrajaya.
Saya berharap kerajaan perpaduan dapat segera menyelesaikan tuntutan Sarawak selepas perjanjian Malaysia tahun 1963. Laporan IGC, Perlembagaan Sarawak dan Perlembagaan Persekutuan.
Additionally, he hoped that the unity government under the leadership of Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim will continue to carry out development in Sarawak, as well as improving the quality of health and education services, developing basic infrastructure, and looking after the welfare of the Sarawakian people. He expressed confidence that the close relationship between the Sarawak and federal governments will continue to reap benefits for the people, noting that political stability has returned to the country.
Yakin hubungan erat Kerajaan Sarawak dan Kerajaan Persekutuan akan terus membawa banyak kebaikan kepada rakyat seluruh negara.
The 19th Sarawak State Assembly will sit for 8 days until May 24th. 3 bills will be tabled, namely the Supplementary Supply 2022 Bill, Supplementary Supply 2023 Bill, and the Sarawak Craft Council Bill 2023.
The implementation of the Malaysia Agreement 1963 or MA63 has been long overdue, and the unity government holds the potential to expedite Sarawak's claims. University Putra Malaysia UPM political analyst Professor Dato Dr. Jayum Jawan said, in order to effectively expedite Sarawak's demands, the unity government must exert pressure on the federal government.
Dr. Jayum said that the unity government, with its majority support from Sarawak and Sabah, represents an opportunity to rectify and uphold the principles outlined in the Malaysia Agreement.
This is something that they can do because to understand that returning back many of the things that are not implemented under MA63 may require the legislative support of at least two-thirds majority in as far as amending certain rules and regulations that may need to be amended. So the unity government has that majority. So it is not something that is very difficult.
He said this when contacted by TVS earlier today. Meanwhile, Dr. Jayum highlights the need for sincerity on the part of the federal government, specifically mentioning the Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim's leadership. He further said several factors have contributed to the delayed progress of Sarawak's demands. One key issue is the need for a more diligent approach by Deputy Prime Minister Fadilah Yusof, who heads the working committee responsible for implementing MA63.
There is some form of a working committee under the Deputy Prime Minister, Fadilah Yusof. He is unaware. If he has doubt, then he has to get advisors to assist him. So there is now no longer any excuse in the return of the rights of Sabah and Sarawak within the Federation of Malaysia. The federal government has given a green light. They have tasked the Deputy Prime Minister Fadilah Yusof to do the job. So now it looks like that it is not on the feet of the federal government, it is on the feet of Fadilah Yusof and on the feet of Sabah and Sarawak.
Earlier, Head of State Tun Pen Sri Abdul Taib Mahmud called on the unity government of Malaysia to expedite the fulfillment of Sarawak's claims related to the implementation of MA63. Emphasizing the importance of upholding the agreement, he highlighted the need for swift action in restoring Sarawak's rights and privileges.
The Imam SYAFIQ International Conference 2023 to be held at the Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching, BCCK, will gather SYAFIQ scholars from all around the world, including from Jordan, Yemen, Brunei and Indonesia, as well as local presenters. Themed Sustainability of Fiqh SYAFIQ in Driving the Prosperity of the Ummah, the 2 days conference will be officiated by Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim on the second day.
According to Deputy Minister for Utility and Telecommunication, Dato Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, the conference is themed around providing a deeper understanding of the SYAFIQ school of thought among Muslims.
Terdapat 9 sesi pembentangan yang akan berlangsung yang akan mengupaskan tema seminar dalam pelbagai sudut seperti perkembangan fiqh SYAFIQ, pengaruh Imam SYAFIQ dalam pengeluaran fatwa dan kelestarian fiqh SYAFIQ dalam menepani isu semasa.
He said this at a press conference for the Imam SYAFIQ International Conference 2023. Co-organized by the Sarawak Mufti Department and the Academy of Islamic Studies of the University of Malaya, the conference will be held on May 17 and 18. Almost 1,000 registered local participants are expected to attend. Commenting further, Abdul Rahman said the seminar is part of efforts to significantly impact the Islamic world, especially in coordinating fatwas and harmonizing differences of opinions, which are often a source of friction in present times.
Kelestarian ini membawa kepada pengamalan Islam yang benar dan harmoni tanpa mewujudkan perpecahan masyarakat. Inilah harapan penganjur kita agar masyarakat saling menghormati antara satu sama lain, walaupun berbeza pandangan dan pendapat.
The development of the new economy and political stability is mentioned by Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Jari Tunapeng at the recent Unity Government Convention is deemed timely. Deputy Minister in the Sarawak Premier's Office for Corporate Affairs, Information and Sarawak Public Communications Unit, Dato' Abdullah Saidul said the Premier calls upon the central government to remain stable, efficient and productive.
Seruan Premier ialah kerana beliau tidak mahu negara ketinggalan dari segi daya saing dalam pengstrukturan ekonomi baru dan pembangunan jika dibanding negara-negara jiran yang agresif dalam pelaksanaan polisi-polisi ekonomi terkini dan pelaburan kewangan yang menjadikan usaha pemulihan ekonomi di negara jiran lebih menarik di mata pelabur asing.
Adding to that, he urged all parties to stop the political polemics that are harming society so as to ensure that the national development agenda can be implemented immediately.
Kerajaan Sarawak yang dipimpin GPS akan terus menjunjung titah yang di-Pertuan Agong agar penubuhan kerajaan perpaduan ini akan menstabilkan suasana politik dan urusan pentadbiran negara didahulukan.
He said this when asked to comment on the Premier's speech at a convention in Kuala Lumpur recently.
Coming up right after the break, Navy officer found guilty of causing collision in Norway's sea. And Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim says diesel subsidy to be improved. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned.
Semarak.
Welcome back. The federal government will try to resolve the water supply problems in Kelantan and Sabah, even though it involves a hefty sum of money. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said despite the huge expenditure, the water issues need to be addressed as it is a fundamental basic necessity and not a political matter.
Kalau ikut rancangan kita, dia mengambil masa terlalu panjang. Mana termasuk dalam rancangan Malaysia ke-12 atau perbelanjawan madani. Tapi kalau saya duduk di sandakan dan mendapat air campur air laut dengan air masin dengan air untuk minum, jadi kan ada masalah. Dan banyak daerah-daerah di Sabah begitu juga. Di Kelantan begitu juga.
He said that the government is in the midst of preparing the mid-term review of the 12th Malaysia Plan. At the same time, Anwar said he would also hold discussions at the Ministry of Economy and Ministry of Finance in order to address the water supply issue in Kelantan and Sabah.
Ini hal-hal yang memerlukan kesediaan penjawat awam berganjak sedikit daripada perencanaan atau penggubalan dasar seperti biasa. Jadi ini saya sebut ini sebagai contoh bagaimana kita harus lihat. Ini kalau kita betul-betul menyantuni rakyat.
He said this at the Prime Minister's Department's monthly assembly for May 2023.
Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim stressed that the unity government will not tolerate any attempts to sabotage his administration. He asserted that the government today is seen as more confident and resolute despite some efforts to thwart the continuation of sworn declarations and similar actions at an early age.
Jadi terdapat beberapa minggu atau sebulan lebih yang lalu, ketua-ketua parti, baik PH atau BN, GPS, JRS itu yang besar, bagi komitmen yang sangat jelas. Dan semalam, bila kita adakan perhimpunan, itu dengan pengukuhan itu jelas bahawa sekurang-kurangnya untuk bertahun-tahun akan datang ini tidak ada lagi layanan terhadap segala percobaan untuk sabotaj kerajaan yang ada. Jadi terima kasih. Ini mungkin sudah juga berjasa kerana beberapa program kita lakukan ini telah meyakinkan bahawa negara mungkin mantap kalau kerajaan itu stabil dan ada jangka panjangnya. Mana sehingga pilihan raya umum akan datang.
Furthermore, Anwar highlighted positive first quarter results surpassing previous projections, according to the Department of Statistics. He revealed that the national projections are currently more favorable, with the country's economic growth target ranging between 4.45% and 5%. Emphasizing the importance of collaboration, Anwar calls for federal, state and local authorities involved in investment projects to work together and ensure a promising growth momentum.
The existing diesel subsidy system will continue and will be improved by ensuring that vehicles that transport diesel supplies from gas stations or skid tanks are equipped with a fleet card system. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the system aims to monitor diesel consumption and avoid leakage.
Anwar, who is also Minister of Finance, said the country's diesel subsidy system should be improved following the country's subsidy liability.
Jangan diambil satu diesel dan jual kepada kilang-kilang seperti mana berlaku sekarang. Yang keduanya kita juga sedang akan diperinci kenderaan mana yang diperlukan dan sebagainya.
He said this in a press conference after chairing the National Economic Action Council (MTEN) in Putrajaya on Monday. Anwar added a review indicated that diesel consumption jumped 37.7% from 6.1 billion litres in 2019 to 8.4 billion litres in 2022, while the number of registered vehicles that use only diesel increased by 2.4% from 2.08 million in 2019 to 2.13 million in 2022.
Jadi ada masalah tentang salah guna atau penyeludupan ketirisan. Ini yang disebutkan ketirisan 10 bilion ringgit yang kemudian dicabar oleh setengah ahli Parlimen Pembangkang kerana dia tidak baca.
In another event, Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim called on voters in Selangor to reject treacherous leaders, which he likened to Raja Mandalia and Si Kitol. Recalling the history of the two traitors, the Pakatan Harapan chairman revealed that there is evidence that such characters were vehemently opposed in the past.
Apa yang kita lakukan? Bahawa 6 bulan kita perintah, saudara, kerja sakau, ambil duit rakyat, ambil harta tanah rakyat, kita hentikan sama sekali. Dan kalau ada orang yang bercakap soal bersih, ambil kontrak, ambil projek banjir, tapetan banjir, ambil jana biru bawah yang patutnya dikurniakan kepada bumi putera. Ambil hasil minyak masak. Apa yang kita lakukan? Saya kata saya tidak gentar. Insya-Allah dengan kekuatan yang diberikan, dengan izin Allah SWT, kita akan hentikan kerja curi harta rakyat di negara kita.
He said this when speaking in front of more than 20,000 attendees at the Malaysia Madani Selangor Open House at the Phase 3 commercial area Taman Sri Gombak last night. Also present at the event were Deputy Prime Minister Dato Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, Selangor Menteri Besar Dato Sri Amiruddin Syari, Home Affairs Minister Dato Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail, and Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Dato Sri Muhammad Sabu.
Thank you for staying with us. Now on to some global updates. A Norwegian Navy officer was found guilty of negligence after causing a collision between an oil tanker and a military vessel in 2018. The impact resulted in a tremendous loss of precious fossil fuel and a military asset which sank completely. The officer was sentenced to a 2-month suspended jail sentence, which many deemed as too light of a punishment.
The last military vessel, known as the Helga Instad frigate, would have cost up to $1.24 billion to replace, as reported by the armed forces in 2019. The crash also triggered multiple shutdowns of petroleum production in Norway as it occurred near a major North Sea oil export terminal. The defendant was the officer in charge of the bridge of the Ingstad at the time and pleaded not guilty to negligence. His lawyer, Christian Lundin, had said the defendant believes he was unfairly singled out for blame. The prosecution had asked for a 4-month suspended jail sentence.
And that wraps it up for TVS Nightline. And folks, Unity Week is just around the corner. We'll be broadcasting a news bulletins live on location from the Kuching waterfront. So head on to our booth and you'll get a chance to meet TVS personalities. And you can see if you've got what it takes to be a news anchor or TV host. So mark May 20th to 26th on your calendars and we'll see you there. I'm Shura Abang Mansur. Thank you for watching.